Why Gen Z quit drinking alcohol? Let's go.
Gen Z is drinking less alcohol than every other generation on Earth right now, and it's having major repercussions. Since when did Gen Z become the designated driver of society? And what
Major repercussions? You mean healthier, less liver problems? Bro, that's a good thing. That's something we should celebrate, bro. Because alcohol is like, bro, so many people underestimate how bad it actually is, bro. Like, alcohol is genuinely... Is it worse than cigarettes? Like, cigarettes, you have that shit plastered on the packet with like, oh, you do not want to end up like this guy and someone breathing out of a flipping tube. But alcohol, you just go in, yeah, it's glorified, you get what I'm saying? Cigarettes are a lot more like, okay, this is definitely going to kill you early. This is not something glorified, this is not something good. Bro, like, the same thing is with alcohol, I can't lie, but it's more glorified.
What does this mean for the alcohol industry? That is what we're going to find out today. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Food Theory, the show that's the perfect mocktail of chaos and edutainment. And yes, I did say mocktails because that is what's all on the rage. Cocktails are so blasé, so 2024. But you know what's not blasé? Clicking that subscribe button. But back to the point, why? Because Gen Z just isn't that into drinking. That's right, the same generation that revived Y2K fashion, embraced oat milk like it was liquid gold, and somehow made Crocs fashionable again, is now making alcohol.
Bro, oat milk is low-key fire, bro. Like, you can't even disrespect oat milk. Oat milk is genuinely fire, bro. I remember the first time I tried that shit, I was like, holy, bro. This is gold, gang. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, oat milk is genuinely fire, bro.
Alcohol-free living, cool. And when Gen Z decides something is over, it's OVER. And boy, is it. They're drinking 20% less than the generation before them, the millennials, and 33% less than the other generations when it comes to beer and wine. For generations, drinking has been a cornerstone of social life, adulthood, and even celebrations. College parties, happy hours, wedding receptions. Alcohol has been at the center of all of it. Sure, it's not like everyone drank. There's plenty of people of every generation that don't. And yet, it's specifically the drinking rates among Gen Z that are plummeting. Bars and nightclubs are struggling to keep young customers, and they're scrambling to understand how to entertain people that just don't want to partake in drinking. At first, this might seem like just another quirk.
Bro, I hate not being myself or feeling myself or being under the influence of literally anything while outside in public, bro. Like, I just hate that shit. Like, I don't like being under the influence of anything while I'm in public, bro. It's just like, it's not myself. Like, I'm acting different, I'm acting weird. It's like, it gives me paranoia. I get like paranoid, bro. Like, I don't fuck with that shit. I like being sober outside, like sober.
Generational shift, like the sudden return of
like, not even caffeine, bro. Like, I'm not even playing, bro. Like, protein powder makes you tweak out. I remember one time I went to college with too much protein powder, gang. I mean protein with too much caffeine pre-workout, bro. I was tweaking out. Gee, I was genuinely tweaking out. I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. I was moving different, bro. I had hella energy for no reason. I couldn't sit down, bro. And that's caffeine, bro. Like, imagine anything else, bro. No.
Bottom jeans or that hairstyle that every Gen Zer insists on getting. But this is not just a passing trend. This is something that's already reshaping industries, marketing strategies, and even the future of alcohol itself. Because here's the thing, this might be bad news for the alcohol brands out there. This is an industry that has spent billions of—
Oh no, what will this multi-billion-dollar corporation do if I don't buy their fucking shit? I couldn't care less, bro. Who cares? Who genuinely cares if the alcohol companies are profiting, bro? Like, y'all be caring too much about companies, gang.
Dollars making sure alcohol is seen as an essential part of adulthood. But now, their golden goose, the young adult demographic that kept bars full and liquor sales booming, is disappearing. So let's be clear here. We're talking about people born between 1997 and 2012. Now that the oldest Gen Zers are in their mid-20s, gag, they are entering the consumer world, making their own purchasing choices and having a heavy influence on brands, trends, and everything else. So companies are starting to take note of Gen Z's interests. I talked about this in our Chili's video a bit more, so make sure to check that one out. But basically, they're the captain now. And with that power, they've decided that they liked dry January so much that they're just gonna make it dry the rest of time. Statistics show 70% of people in Gen Z are choosing non-alcoholic beverages over the other kind. Only 18 to 20% of Americans of legal drinking age under 28, which is the cutoff point as of this episode for that group, said they regularly drank beer, wine, or spirits. Like I mentioned earlier, among millennials who were—
Huh? Okay. So under 28. So that's what makes you Gen Z. Okay. I got a bit confused there.
Born between 1980 and 1994, consumption was way higher, especially for beer and wine. It's not just in the US either. In the UK, over 1 in 4 young adults now identify as non-drinkers, a number that has doubled in the last decade. It's astonishing. Even in countries with deeply ingrained drinking cultures, Germany, Spain, and Australia, young people are simply not reaching for booze like their parents did. But what is it about alcohol that no longer fits into Gen Z's world? It's well known that Gen Z is socializing a lot less in person due to the reliance on communicating through technology. Some people have even gone so far as to dub this the loneliest generation. And let's be honest, the pandemic...
Bro, depends how you measure that, bro. The loneliest generation, we're still communicating, we just have different forms of communication. Like what? That doesn't make you lonely, bro. Now you've got people around you. As a matter of fact, we're the most connected generation. I swear there was a quote where it's like, we're more connected than ever, but more separate than ever. I think that sums it up. Like, I don't think it's that we're disconnected. And to be honest with you, people are friendlier than ever, bro. Like, just go outside. Like, just go outside and talk to people, bro. Go outside, find some people. If you're at work, if you're at this, if you're doing that, talk to people around you. Actually be interested in them, and you'll find friends, bro. Like, it's not something that's any more difficult, bro. As a matter of fact, people nowadays are so nice, bro. I can't imagine. Like, I've never lived like 100 years ago, bro. But I imagine they were a lot more like tight. You get what I'm saying? They were less open. Now people, like, they're talking. Am I onto something? No.
Definitely didn't help, since they spent important informative time distancing themselves and doing the opposite of socializing. As Gen Z are spending less time in person, there's been a decline in alcohol consumption, as very often alcohol is seen as a social drink. Since a common reason for drinking is to have a good time with friends, naturally this decreases if the social interaction goes down too. But that's not to say that they aren't going out at all, just a lot.
But that's crazy. I'll never understand people like that. Now, why would you want to be on the influence of something while in public, bro? Like, no, never, bro. Like, that's not something I'd want, bro. That sounds like a nightmare. Just tripping out, acting different, acting weird in public, not being myself, not being in control of my own body. That's, bro, never, bro. What?
Less than before. And even though they are the loneliest generation, that doesn't mean that they aren't socializing either. They're just socializing in ways that prioritize health and finance. And booze doesn't fit well into either of those, especially in this day and age. I went out with some friends recently to catch up over dinner and made the mistake of getting a cocktail because why not? We were celebrating reuniting. When the bill came, pet peeve of them not putting the prices on the menu aside, my jaw dang near hit the floor when I saw that the drink was $25. Mind you, my
Fucking hell, bro. They're charging hotel room prices. What the fuck? $25? 25 clams, bro. Hell no. Fuck no, bro. I'm gonna vomit that shit out back into the bottle, gang. Fuck you. What?
flatbread I ordered, 19. It's ridiculous. And Gen Zers aren't having any of that. And it's not just the price tag like we mentioned in other episodes. Gen Z are far more health conscious, arguably the most health aware generation in history, because they have all the information they need at their fingertips. The awareness of alcohol and the effects it has on someone has significantly increased since the past generations. Sure, millennials were the first generation to have alcohol and drug educations in school, like the DARE campaign and Just Say No, but it was always vague and didn't harp on the actual health part of it. I remember as a kid it was just don't do this, it's bad for you, with some scary images, but we never
This is your brain on drugs, just a fucking egg, bro. That's good, bro. Bring back this type of marketing, bro. They were so like straightforward with it back then. Like they had no filter, bro, like at all, G. They would say it as it is. Now everything's like fluffed up. You can't make it too serious. There was an ad about this guy it was a intersection, and this guy made a mistake and he had a kid in the back. But the guy who was moving, he didn't slow down, and it ended up hitting him. But that ad got cancelled because apparently it was too graphic, even though it showed the reality, bro. Like even though other people make mistakes, and you need to be aware of that, bro. Like you just killed a family or two, even though you were following the rules, but you should know that there's a possibility that someone's gonna break them. And they banned that ad because it was too graphic. But it's true, bro. When you hit a car, there's more often than not. I'm not sure how statistically true that is, but a large portion of the time there's kids in the back, there's people in the back. It's not something you should do out of anger, even if it is following the rules. Just be more careful, because other people make like mistakes, bro. You get what I'm saying? And it's not worth their life. Bro, look at me moving like Nelson Mandela, bro.
really grasped the effect it had on our bodies. Gen Z, on the other hand, has had instant access to scientific research, nutritional breakdowns, and first-hand testimonials about how
Oh my god, when you move countries and they don't put this shit on every piece of food, it actually pisses me off, bro. Like, this should be universal. Nothing should be sold if it doesn't have this on it. Genuinely, bro. Like, being healthy so difficult, bro. Like, I want to count my calories. I want to count my protein. Why the fuck do they make it so difficult, bro? Just a packet of something. You don't even know what the fuck they're selling, bro. Like, you should be thankful if you live in a country where they put this on everything, bro.
alcohol affects the body. So even from one generation to the next, there's a greater understanding of how alcohol can affect your health. And the results aren't pretty. Not just the physical aspect either, the mental one too. Almost 86% of the Gen Z population believe that their mental health is as significant as their physical health when considering drinking alcohol. And well, yeah, alcohol does have a relaxing effect.
Bro, they're correlated. They're very heavily correlated. Your mental health is a direct result of your physical health. I'll tell you that right now. If you sleep right, I say this in every fucking video, sleep, eat, and see enough sunlight and work out, like, take care of your body. Genuinely, just take care of your body and your mental health will be good, bro. No one's ever, I'm not gonna make a statement like that, but who's more likely to kill themselves? Who's more likely to commit suicide? Who's more likely to have violent thoughts? Someone who's sleeping like shit, eating like shit, doesn't work out, never sees the sunlight, or someone who's living healthy as fuck. That just doesn't happen, bro. And it's the physical health decline that comes before the mental health decline. And I'm not a doctor, I'm just saying my observations, bro. So take it with a grain of salt.
By lowering your inhibitions, that's the reason why inebriated people do dumb things. There's a flip side to that coin, because it also disrupts sleep quality, gut health, and increases the presence of negative feeling, like anger, depression, and anxiety. And Gen Z is already depressed and anxious enough as it is. So they're electing to move away from alcohol because they've got enough on their plate, or in their cup, as the case may be. I do want to point out that I know I'm referring to Gen Z as if it's some sort of monolith, and obviously it's not, but trends are incredibly significant in this generation, the generation of social media. And yeah, older generations, well, mostly just the millennials, did have social media from a relatively young age, but we're talking about people who've been sharing their lives with the world for as long as they can practically remember. And the influence of social media is absolutely one of the most important factors in them giving up liquor. Because watching people online share their thoughts on the negative effects of alcohol, their personal stories, or following trends like Dry January encourages others to follow suit. Look at Tom Holland, not just because he's easy on the eyes, but because he's a good example of this. Someone in the cultural conversation who's become an advocate for sobriety. He started through Dry January, and he's not the only one. Last year, 35% of Gen Zers between 21 and 24 also completed Dry January. And now, the vastly better Tom even makes his own alcohol-free beer. And the other aspect of social media is the ability to have a conversation with the world. There's a large trend called the sober curiosity movement, which challenges people to assess their relationship with alcohol. Not to cut it out, but to ask themselves why they drink, all in the name of mental and physical health. The term sober curious was popularized by the author Ruby Warrington in her 2018 book.
I think most people drink not necessarily out of boredom. Is it to feel cool? Is it to feel part of something? I don't think so, bro. I think genuinely people just drink for the sake of drinking, bro. Like, there's genuinely no point, bro.
Gen Z is latching onto it because it's become a global conversation. As opposed to what I alluded to earlier when education for the older generation was simply being told not to do something, now it's a dialogue that young people can feel empowered to participate in. And clearly, when they start asking themselves the important questions...
Yeah, but which is more effective? Let's be real. Drive carefully. Let's have a conversation about why you should drive carefully. Or the fucking adverts they used to have back in the day. They would literally just show you a guy getting ran over on fucking television, bro. Just show you that. Drive responsibly, as there's someone who's literally in pieces, bro. Like, bro, they were crazy back then. They didn't give a damn, bro.
Alcohol seems like less of a necessity for going out and socializing. But while health and wellness is absolutely the primary concern and driving factor of sobriety for Gen Z, we can't really leave out how expensive it is to drink. Almost a third of young people choose low and no alcohol drinks specifically because they're cheaper than the alcoholic versions. This isn't to say that they're all about saving money and penny pinching. Sure, harsher economic reality right now between student loan debt, skyrocketing rent prices, and an uncertain job market, but the youth are actually happy happy to shell out cash. They're willing to pay more so long as it's a better quality product. Trends from 2024 show that when Gen Z do drink, they prefer premium beverages. Gone are the days of slamming down whatever's cheapest at the bar. Gen Z would rather have one high-quality, carefully curated drink than 5 that taste like bad decisions. They're trading.
See, that's a good thing, because like now the goal has shifted from actually getting like fucked up, actually getting like drunk as hell, to just enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are doing it now to actually socialize, not to just get drunk, which I guess is better. It's not good, but it's better.
Quantity for quality. So here's the real kicker. This isn't just about drinking less. It's about drinking differently. And the alcohol brands are listening closely. That's because Gen Z isn't killing alcohol. They're reinventing it. Say what you will, but this generation knows what they want. And they have standards, which is more than I can say for the frat bros of my college years downing anything so long as it was unleaded. And even then, I've seen things. When it comes to the things Zoomers are drinking, one of the—
But low-key, this means that we've also got dumber. We've also got dumber, bro. Because if you see like people who are wine tasters, bro, like they can't tell which one's the fucking expensive one. Like, they genuinely most of the time can't tell. And if you need 10 years to find out the difference, there is no fucking difference. I'm keeping it a buck, bro. So really, Gen Z is just paying extra for the same fucking product. We're just getting better at getting scammed for it, bro. Like, it's a bit. It's a double-edged sword, because you're paying less, but you're also drinking less. I mean, you're paying more, but you're also drinking less. But yeah, you're getting less for more, but at least you're taking care of your health. In this context, it's a good thing, man.
fastest growing markets is the ready-to-drink beverages, or RTDs. The global RTD market is expected to more than double from 1.01 billion to 2.23 billion by 2029. And it's thanks to Gen Z, who live fast-paced lives and need a good drink that doesn't require a bunch of preparation. 54% of Gen Z drink pre-mixed alcohol beverages and spirits, which include things like hard lemonades, hard seltzers, and kombucha. And if you've never had it, by the way, thank your lucky stars. Living in LA so long, it was hard to avoid it. And the one time I did have it, I literally spat it back out on the street. I truly don't get it, but that's just me. Gen Zers, on the other hand, are down to try pretty much anything. That's why these RTDs are also such a smash hit, because they offer a huge variety of flavors and options. They're also drinking the good stuff, the premium stuff, like I mentioned. 54% of Gen Z are likely to choose a premium drink compared to just 35% of people in older generations. This trend is particularly evident in spirits, where premium, super premium, and ultra premium categories have been growing like the stuff at the bottom of kombucha bottles.
They're all the same fucking shit. Where the tree is from, and I'm not an expert on this, but I'm also not a dumbass, and I do have a bit of common sense. Where the tree is from doesn't matter enough to charge me 3 times the fucking price, bro. Not me specifically, just people in general. Like, are we dead ass, bro? You're charging people 3 times the price because the tree isn't in Italy and it's in fucking Uganda, bro. Like, does it really matter, gang? No, it doesn't, bro.
Seriously, so gross. But companies are now adapting to this, creating beverages with interesting flavors. Like,
not to mention, you're gonna mix it with like 3 other fucking shit. You're not even gonna taste it. Like, you get what I'm saying, bro? I'm cooking. And on this one, I'm cooking. Okay, you can't even say shit.
pineapple wine cocktails and orange lemonade vodka. But that's not the only way companies are adapting, because the new wave is all about the no-low trend. You know, drinks with no and low alcohol. And the brands are riding that wave to the bank. They're not dumb. They see that their customers are drinking less alcohol. So if people don't want alcohol in their beer, they're not gonna stop selling beer. They're just gonna stop selling the alcohol in the beer. More and more.
What's the point then, bro? I mean, isn't the point of drinking to get drunk to some degree, bro? Like, people just drinking shit that... Like, what? I'm tweaking. Am I wrong, bro?
More companies are starting to offer 0% beers, and they're seeing a lot of success with it. The NA, or non-alcoholic beer market, rose by 35% from 2022 to 2023, and it's expected to keep...
Do people like the taste of alcohol? Like, I'm confused. Isn't taste supposed to be the worst part of alcohol? Why are people buying alcohol if it's not even... doesn't have any alcohol in it, bro?
Growing at a pretty massive rate. Now, once upon a time, removing the alcohol from the beer had to be done post-fermentation through techniques like boiling, vacuum distillation, and reverse osmosis. Problem was, these methods could negatively affect the taste. So, non-alcoholic beers were far from the preference. But now, advancements in technology have also allowed these companies to improve the flavor of these non-alcoholic beverages. Meaning, not only is it not a bad substitute, but can be as good as the original too. And it's not just limited to beers. There are companies that sell de-alcoholic alcoholized wine. I'm fascinated by this product because it's not like it's just a juice. They've actually removed the alcohol from fully fermented wine and it leaves it tasting just like the alcoholic kind. This is a perfect example of an industry actually listening to its customers and a consumer base that's truly talking with their wallets. And we all come out winning. Higher quality spirits, no or low alcohol variants that taste just as good as their alcoholic counterparts. Even older generations.
Bro, do people think alcohol tastes good? Like, every person I've asked says alcohol tastes like shit. Like, are we dead ass? People be drinking it, like, willingly, bro. Like, happily. Just taste without any feeling or anything. Bro, like, what? This doesn't make sense.
Are drinking
sure.
less or healthier thanks to Gen Z's lead. We owe them a debt of gratitude. But there's one other big winner here. Notice how at no point in the episode did I say that the alcohol industry is declining? Sure, there are certain aspects or specific brands that are in trouble, looking at you, Natty Light, and sure, there are less people drinking now than ever, but sales in the alcohol industry as a whole haven't stopped climbing since the pandemic. People may be drinking less volume of alcohol, but prices haven't dropped a bit. In fact, some of these no-low drinks are even more expensive than the alcoholic kind. They require the same or similar techniques to the alcoholic types, just with the added step of removing the alcohol, which then makes it a premium product to sell. There's a bit of a slump as manufacturers shift their strategies to fit the new market, and some of them may stumble in the short term, which explains why some markets have seen a small decline. But these companies aren't worried about the now. They play the long game. Look at Anheuser-Busch, the largest beer company in the world. Right now, they're experiencing a small dip in sales, but their non-alcoholic options are exceeding expectations. And if things keep going the way they are, their non-alcoholic sales will likely equal or even exceed their others. And they're coming out looking like the heroes because they're giving us healthier options and listening to the consumer base without actually sacrificing anything. In fact, they're gaining in the long term. So Gen Z being healthy and drinking less because of it has created a shift in the industry that's demanding higher quality and healthier options. It's also making the rest of us start to moderate our own drinking habits and consider healthier options. And the alcohol industry is loving it because we are playing right into their hands. But hey, that's just a theory. A food theory. Bottoms up.
W video, man. Honestly, closing thoughts. It's bad for you. It doesn't really add anything to your life. And I guess 0 is better than... I mean, just don't have it at all, gang. Like, you're not missing out on much. Anyways, boys, that's about it. Subscribe. I post videos like this literally every day. So if you want more, you know where to find it, bro. See ya.